Guys, I am here at the range with a gun that is finally in the mix, in the collection, none other than the Colt Python. Alright guys, to me, this 6-inch stainless Colt Python is an American classic that at some point had to be in my collection. Now, I would say a year ago, I did a video like my top 5 favorite wheel guns. Some in my collection already, some I needed in there someday. This was one of them. I'll link that video above if you guys care to see it. But now, you're probably saying, Steve, oh, what year is it? The classics are great. Well, this is, as a matter of fact, a new production Colt Python. I didn't want to get one of the ones from the 70s or 80s, which maybe I could do at some point, but the prices on them are just too high. And I blame you, Rick Grimes. Rick Grimes, you messed it up for everybody, making this thing so popular that the gun that really should be about $1,000, you know, when that show was in its heyday and at its prime, these bad boys, the original ones, you would see going for $4,000 and $5,000. Crazy amount of money for a Colt Python, in my opinion. Now, there are people out there that will pay it, surely, but I just don't think it's worth that much money. Now, so I think, I could be wrong, but since Colt, they had to have seen how popular the gun became from the show, they re-released it. I forget what year exactly it was re-released. It was late 2010s. And it came out, I think there were some problems, people were having issues, it just wasn't running properly, but then that was cleared up pretty quick from what I understand. I got 6 rounds of 357, I'm not pussyfooting around with this bad boy, no 38 specials, this is a 357 snake, and it's going to get 357 rounds, it's a 6-inch barrel, let's do it. Colt Python handles a 357s no problem. It is a gun that you need in your collection. It's just classic. There's nothing that says classic than the ribbing on the top that you get with the Colt Python. Those slots, man, I'll tell you. Some people say, the 4-inch is king or the 3-inch or 2. They're making a million different lengths. I think they got a 5-inch of these things. They might got an 8-inch. Crazy. They're all over the place. But to me, the 6-inch is just classic. A classic wheel gun, classic length in a 6. It just look at that profile. It just looks beautiful, sexy. What I'll probably do at some point is swap out the new production grips for some old classic Python grips. From what I understand, the old Python grips will fit on this gun. And it's not like these grips are bad. They're surely not. They got a nice finish to them. They feel like a nice quality wood there. But I just like the little bit lighter shade that came on the Colt Pythons. This is a little darker. Again, not bad, but I just like the lighter color wood on these things. It really just sets it off, gives it that really bit of classic touch. All right, here we go. 6 shots of 38 special. I know, whatever. I don't want to waste all 357, but here we go for 38 special. See what it feels like. Let's go single double. Give you an idea. I mean, the action on Colts is just good. Feels nice and smooth. Just listen to that. Oh, it's not too light, but it's light enough. You'll get some revolvers that have a really heavy hammer pull. This is not heavy. That just feels like it's been hand tuned. I don't think that these are. Back in the day they were all hand fitted from what I understand, the Colt Pythons. I'm not sure, I don't think it's like that now, but that still just feels really nice. Man, that feels nice. Okay, here we go. I'll tell you, just kind of taking my time, feeling that trigger, the pull on this trigger is not heavy. I mean, it's smooth. It's not light. I mean, usually double pulls on a revolver are pretty heavy, pretty long. I mean, like a 10-pounder, you know, probably at least. But this really feels I mean, that might be 8 pounds. I mean, it's not that it's light, but it's just, it's smooth. It doesn't feel gritty. The hammer, I'm telling you, you got to really feel it to get an appreciation for that. If you have a chance, you're at a gun shop, definitely pick it up and handle it. I mean, this thing, it just feels good. I love the wide spur on the pythons as well. A lot of wheel guns you'll see, name the brand, doesn't matter, Smith, Ruger, whatever. They have the thin spur on the hammer. I really like how it's wide enough. It really just sets your thumb on it perfectly. There's no missing it. There's no slipping off. The texture on that thing, if it'll focus, the texture on that thing is nice and grippy. Has a very nice a ribbing on there. It's really grippy, you can see. It's really wanting to grab my fingers. So that's great. Man, just overall, Colt, man. American classic, Colt Python. All right, let's see what the difference is just in recoil. 357 versus 38 special. I'm going to run with 2 shots of 38 special and then 2 shots of 357 to follow it up, just to kind of see the next to each other bang bang. Now, you know, a 6-inch revolver is going to be heavier, more material, longer, heavier. So any big revolver is going to be good with taming recoil just because they're big. If you've never shot a 357, I would definitely recommend shooting a 357 in a longer barreled or bigger frame gun before you go down to, say, like a J frame, some like air weight or something 357, because you're definitely going to feel the difference in snap, punch, all that stuff. Your hand's probably going to hurt a little bit, especially if you're not used to shooting those more powerful rounds. But this is nice. It's good shooting. So let's go 38, 357. You can definitely see and feel the difference in 38 versus 357. The 38 was just a little pop, moved a little bit. 357 was the bang, bang, and I even think I caught a fireball coming out on one of those 357s. So 357 is a very potent round. Guys, there's really not a whole lot left to be said about the Colt Python. It's a really quick video, but I really wanted to get it out here and just remind you all, if you're not into wheel guns, classic wheel guns at that, you should be. It's part of your history, part of just the Americana of firearms. A Colt and a Python, it's just a classic. Something that you should have in your collection for sure. It's a cool gun. They'll never go out of style. And if you want one, just spring and get it. I feel like it's certainly something that will appreciate over time. If you got the coin to jump on one of the OGs from like the 70s or 80s, go for that one. But still, even a new production Colt Python is something really nicely made in my experience. Of course, I have a sample size of one, but just within the community you hear people that have Pythons, and it's just a quality piece. So I'm glad it's finally in the collection. And you know I'm a wheel gun lover if you followed me for a long time, so this has to be there. Here it is. All right, guys, don't forget, Steve MP5 on the Instagrams. I'll see you next time.